Welcome to American Bakery in Germany. I'm Michelle, and today we are making a little boy's first birthday cake, trains and cars themed. Let's get started.
I started out by stacking the cake. This is chocolate cake and raspberry Swiss meringue buttercream. The flavors and general design was a commission from a friend of mine. I filled the cake with raspberry jam. And crumb coated the cake with the raspberry buttercream. I smoothed the buttercream and cleaned up the cake board with a paper towel. Then I chilled the cake for a few minutes until the buttercream had set up. Then I frosted the cake again with a thicker layer of buttercream. I took my time smoothing it. And I cleaned up the cake board again. Then I rolled out some white fondant. And covered the cake with it. I smoothed it on with my hands. And trimmed off the excess with a sharp knife. I was careful not to scuff the cake board. That's easy to do when trimming the fondant. If you like what you see, hit that like button. And while you're down there, hit subscribe for a new cake video every week. Next, I started making the general shape of cars and train. I wanted bright primary colors on this cake. I looked at some example cakes with the birthday boy's mother, and her favorites all had bright primary colors. I started with red. I measured the side of the cake and cut a strip just that height so I knew my design wouldn't be too large. Then I started with the train engine. I felt that we typically feel the train engine should be red. I used a small piping tip to cut out where the wheels would go. Next, I freehanded the basic shape of a small car. And then a slightly larger car. And I set them aside. Next, I did basically the same thing with blue. Except this time, instead of a train engine, I cut out a rectangle destined to become a boxcar. And one more time with yellow. Then I lined the bottom of the cake with large colorful sprinkles. But instead of using all the colors, I only used blue, yellow, and green. The mother was adamant that no girl colors be on the cake, so I discarded the white and pink sprinkles. Then I rolled out some black fondant and used the same piping tip I used to cut out the shape of the wheels to cut out the wheels themselves. Then I began placing the vehicles, beginning with the train engine. Then I added the wheels. And the 2 boxcars I cut out of blue and yellow fondant. Then I placed the cars all around the cake. I tried to alternate the colors to keep up the colorful factor on the cake. Once I had cars and trains all around the cake, I rolled out some light blue fondant nice and thin and cut out small domes, which I then cut in half and stuck onto the cake to be the windows in the cars. I added windows to all the cars. Then I added a couple of small details to the train. I added a little roof and a puff of smoke from the smokestack. Now it's time for the blocks on top. I picked out the letter cutters I wanted to use to compare the size to. Then I cut a piece of blue fondant to be just the right size and shape. The top was a bit raggedy though, so I flipped it over. The bottom was nice and smooth. I cut out blocks the same way from yellow fondant red fondant, and green fondant. I placed the blocks onto the middle of the cake with the blue one in the middle and the other colors fanning around above it. And I rolled out some white fondant and cut out the letters to spell the name Tim and the number 1. I fussed over them a bit before sticking them on the blocks on top of the cake. I am in love with this cake. It's perfect for a little boy's first birthday party. The bright colors are perfect for children, and what little boy doesn't love cars and trains? Happy birthday, Tim! For more cakes and tutorials, visit our website at AmericanBakerInGermany.com. We're also on Facebook and Instagram.